Namaste and welcome to Sujith Talks. My name is Sujith Billa, registered migration agent here in Melbourne. This video is about the medical test or health examinations. So who decides whether you should go for a medical test or a health examination? You means the visa applicant. Well, obviously the department decides, but they have got some rules to follow. So some of the visa applications, like partner visa application lodged overseas, for example 309 visa application, has got medical tests as a requirement because it has to satisfy Public Interest Criteria PIC 4007. And you got visitor visa application, for example. It has also Public Interest Criteria 4005, but not always a visitor visa application will have to go for a medical test. It depends again on other things like a health matrix. It depends on where you're coming from, the usual place of residence who is applying the visitor visa application, and how long you want to stay in Australia. If you compare visitor with partner, obviously partner visa applicants stay in Australia usually indefinitely because they'll get a provisional permanent residence and they will move on to get a permanent residence. So they will go through a medical test that is usually done for a permanent resident applicant. So a PR application. So for visitors, again, like I said, they have to go and check the health matrix, and then you would know whether you have to go for a medical test or not. If you're the applicant, you wouldn't have to go through this health matrix assessment because you do not know where to look. It's the case officer who decides and lets you know if you have to go for a medical test or not. And there are other visa applications like 155, resident return visas, which do not have a medical test as a requirement because they were already permanent residents before. So several factors come into play before you will get to know whether you have to go for a medical test or not. Now, why are these medical tests done? Australia want to see who they are welcoming to their country as migrants and whether they are carrying a disease or a condition with them, because they don't want to jeopardize the Australian citizens' access to public health facilities such as hospitals or community care or disability services and whatnot. So they want to see if a person is having a disease or a condition, how much it would cost the general public. So this is called significant cost assessment. So they check the costs. And who will check the costs? Again, there is a person called as a medical officer of Commonwealth MOC who will determine what is the estimated cost. So if the cost is over $49,000, that is considered as a significant cost. So they will look at the visa applicant, how long he wants to stay or how long she wants to stay in Australia. And based on that, the cost associated with the disease or a condition that they are carrying. For example, somebody is coming on a student visa and they have a condition, and that condition requires an expenditure of $16,000 per annum. And if this student visa holder is coming to Australia for a 4-year visa, let's say, so that is definitely exceeding the $49,000, which is set as a significant cost. So in that case, that person will not be able to meet the health tests, and MOC could give an opinion as do not meet. So what if somebody gets a do not meet condition after they undergo the medical test? So it depends whether that visa is having PIC 4005 or 4007. Like I said, if it's a visitor visa application, it has 4005, which means there's no waiver to get rid of that PIC 4005 if at all you do not meet it. But if it's a partner visa, you have 4007, which does include a waiver. So you could actually try to persuade the case officer to get a waiver and then try to prove that it is not actually a significant cost, which means it's less than $49,000. Normally, they would look for a maximum of 10 years and not more than that, the costs associated with a particular disease or a condition. So these are the basics of a medical test, why they do medical tests and how they determine what is a significant cost or not. So the other reason why they do medical tests is that they want to see whether this visa applicant is a threat to public health. For example, coronavirus is bothering all of us. Now, they are telling you don't go for medical tests until further notice, because they don't want to get coronavirus as a result, and they have to do coronavirus also as a test because it is considered as a pandemic, and it's arguable to say whether that is a public threat because you kind of can, it's contagious. And so public threat example, all-time example is TB. So that's why they do TB tests usually when you go for a medical test. So those are the basics of medical tests and health examinations. In upcoming videos, I'll be talking specifically about a condition or a disease and the likelihood of causing public threat, or what are the significant costs associated with that disease or a condition, so that you kind of know what are the common diseases or conditions that the department will be looking at and whether you'll be able to meet the health examinations or not. If you're after immigration assistance or advice, go to my website sujithtalks.com and schedule a phone or a video consultation. So if you have a medical condition or suffering from a disease and not sure whether you'll meet the medical tests or not, we kind of can get an idea about what it is and the estimated costs, and we can take it from there. If you're new to this channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel Sujith Talks and click on the bell icon to get notified. Stay tuned for more. Till then, it's Namaste.